Before you leave Chatham today, actually go try to order some food. Go to a KFC and see, have you ever ordered your food through a bulletproof glass window? You gotta yell, hey, I want the Doritos. Hey, I want not the spicy macho, the Cool Ranch, the blue bag, right? You gotta yell it. When I was volunteering at Cook County Jail, the students didn't want to hear me speak. And so I just asked the kids in the jail, all right, y'all want to hear me speak? Where are you from? Let's just have a conversation. Where are you from? And kids would be like, my block is 21st Street, or my hood is the low end. And I say, well, y'all say my block and my hood like y'all own something. Why don't you ever say my city? And that's when I realized that none of them had, this ain't my city. Ain't no black people downtown. Ain't no black people in Wicker Park. I was like, well, raise your hand if you've actually been downtown. Crickets. You can see the Sears Tower from the room I was in the jail. Nobody ever been there. They had never been nowhere. So I was like, you know what? Okay, God, I hear you. If you show people better, they can do better. So hopefully if I can show students a world exists outside of their block, they won't go to jail. That's the idea. It's that simple. Welcome to Chatham. Chatham isn't really a neighborhood, it's more of a state of mind. And that state of mind is African-American home ownership, African-American entrepreneurship, block club organizations, community groups. We used to be like Cosby land in Chicago, if you want to be honest. Like, this is where all the, affluent black people live. You had, teachers, doctors, firemen, police people, they lived here. You'll notice us by our manicured lawns, our brick bungalows, our Victorian and ranch style homes. It's a beautiful neighborhood, man. Right now it's probably 70% seniors, right? Because all the people my age left. It's really, you can't afford to live in Chatham. I mean, if you buy a home in Chatham for, I'll buy a home in Chatham for $250,000. But then 10 years from now, my home is worth $100,000. You've lost $150,000. Like, ain't nobody trying to lose $150,000. I can't. It don't make a lot of sense. And then you also have crime. Like, that's a big, when you have to be aware so much, when there's a burden of being aware, and you got to carry a burden around like a backpack and look over your shoulder, it's like, don't nobody we want to go for walks. You want to raise a family. You don't want to have stray bullets hitting people. And if you look in Chatham, helicopters flying over people's houses. You got to order your food through bulletproof glass windows. And we're so close to the highway that we keep on getting robbed. You know what I mean? People pull up right off the highway and prey on our seniors. And so it's just not the branding of the whole south side of Chicago right now is not good. I'm trying to start with my block, right? I'm turning this home into a community center. I want to buy that foreclosed home right there, right? And I want to buy my block and hopefully, success is what you attract, not what you pursue. So if we make this block attractive, we can attract more families, you know what I mean? And then that could spread. So that's my philosophy on it. It's a good way to fall in love with your neighborhood. If you can run 3 miles a day after you're done, you're like, I feel that's a win. That's an easy win. To be an activist, you gotta be mentally tough, man. But it also gives me an opportunity to see the boarded up buildings, see what simple things I can do. Like, if there's like on 79th and Cottage, there's trash everywhere, I can okay, I need to mobilize here today. I have empathy already, but when you see things, you can have compassion. I want to do something about it. So it's just a good way to keep your eyes on your neighborhood. So we at 79th and Cottage Grove. They say this is one of the worst streets in Chicago. It's a real lack of hope over here. A lack of inspiration. It's hard to be inspired when you got liquor stores on every other corner. It's hard to be inspired when you have the currency exchange. Oh yeah? Thank you. She said they're about to be shooting. It's a gang territory, right? So this is prime gang territory in Chicago. It's hard to be inspired when you got a currency exchange in every corner, and the currency exchange got 3-inch bulletproof glass windows up. Meanwhile, they charge you 3% of your money. Like, who's really being robbed? You know what I mean? It's hard to be inspired when you got microphones on every corner. That's shot spotter technology. They listen to gunshots. They let the police know where the gunshots happen, and the police can respond immediately to any gunshots fired. There's more technology on our light poles than there is in the classrooms. Ain't no laptops in the classrooms, but there's technology on every pole. You guys want to keep moving? Like, how many boarded up businesses you see? 16 so far? You can count them. 17. 18. To be an activist in Chicago, you gotta be mentally tough. Like, you gotta stand guard at the door of your thoughts. Anything can happen out here, but it's not about what happens, it's what you do about it. If you eat healthy, you're probably gonna run around the block. If you run around the block, you'll see what's going on in your neighborhood. If you don't know what's going on in your neighborhood, you probably won't vote. If you don't vote, you probably don't volunteer. Everything affects everything. Every discipline affects another. You gotta feel good to do this work, bro. If you don't feel good, how you gonna inspire other people? Woo! I feel good. I feel good. And so another way to just have a good win. When you start the day off running 3 miles, you feel like Usain Bolt. You're like, I feel like I'm an active activist. Is after the 3 miles, I go to Instagram and I take a photo of my watch and my time, and I try to show some scenery off in Chatham, right? This manicured lawns, the bungalows, the beautiful bushes, the trim bushes, the Victorian style homes, and I post it on Instagram and I say, block fit, encouraging everybody to be block fit, run through your neighborhood, fall in love with your neighborhood, and I hashtag Chatham or I hashtag whatever community I'm in that day. So that's how it looks. Really simple. Post my time. It's a good way to hold yourself accountable, but also, you know, a little humble brag. If you go get coffee at the coffee shop, somebody will slide coffee over to you and say, be careful. And you'll be like, oh, what is the lid not on properly? You know, is there, you know, not a logo? Is there not a coffee sleeve on the coffee? Is it too hot? She'll go, oh no, I just meant be careful when you go outside today. They've been shooting all month, you know, be careful. That's shocking when they say that to me because it's like, I'm expecting the courteous alert to be safe. Like you expect somebody to say, all right, man, be safe. But now they're starting to elevate the caution from be safe to saying be careful, right? And then, you know, next year when you walk around and say, look out, like duck. It's violence, man. It's gun violence. Be careful. You know what I mean? It's like gun violence is the way poverty and segregation contribute to that is poorly understood in Chicago, right? People say be safe and stuff because they think gun violence is a reality. It's not a reality. Like gun violence is a reflection of racial and economic injustice. It's a reflection of poor neighborhoods, under-resourced schools, high incarceration rate and high unemployment rate. If you got those 5 things, you're gonna have gun violence, right? It's like ingredients, right? You take a pinch of racial and economic injustice, you take a cup full of poor neighborhoods, you take a spoonful of high incarceration rate, you stir all that, gun violence, that's what you get. And that's what they're saying, be safe out here. Do I think it's getting worse? I think we need to start respecting and valuing nonprofit organizations that are doing work in the community, working with youth. It can't be a top-down approach. You can't pay your way out of violence. You know, you have to like reach people where they're at. Yeah, so we work with youth. You know, all the buzzwords that come out that say defund police, we do programs that look like that in practice already. We work with kids from these divested community areas where there's, you know, 15 currency exchanges and no banks. You ask a kid, what's a job at a bank? They don't know, never been to one, right? They have to order their breakfast every morning through bulletproof glass windows. And you wonder why kids are always yelling. They gotta yell to get their food. You know, you got German Shepherds sniff you when you're on a train. You got people marketing Louis Vuitton caskets in the windows of funeral homes and fake Gucci caskets. That's why there's so much hopelessness. It's just, you know, it's just hopeless. So is it getting worse? I think, I can't say it's getting worse. I can't say it's getting worse because I wake up every day in a good mood. So we take teenagers on educational field trips and we expose them to different cultures, different professions, different cuisines. So we take kids from these areas on explorations, we call them. So if you've never been to a bank, we'll take you to a bank. If you've never been to Greek Town, we'll take you to the National Hellenic Museum. If you've never been to Divine Avenue, we'll go eat some Indian food up there, right? You could travel the world without leaving Chicago, but most kids have never been downtown. They've never left their neighborhood. They've never waved for a taxi. They see Lake Michigan and they say, what ocean is that, right? They've never been on an elevator, but they want to work at a marketing company. That's tragic. So we take those teenagers, we work with 150 teenagers from 10 different schools, and once per month, every student goes on this exploration. So that's our youth development side of things. On community development, we take care of people no matter what. I mean, you probably see us, if it's a snowstorm, we shovel for seniors. If it's a heat wave, we deliver fans, deliver water to seniors. During COVID-19, which is still going on, about 7,000 seniors have reached out to us, and we've been sending them PPE, connecting them to primary healthcare physicians, hand sanitizer, disinfectant spray, all that good stuff. And with all the rioting and the looting, we just raised $1 million for small businesses that were impacted, that needed help with painting, glass repair, construction, and graffiti removal, stuff like that. I could sit here and make excuses all day and say, hey, the city's messed up, the country's messed up, the people's messed up. I think that philosophy is messed up. I'm gonna go get my education. I'm gonna write down a list of my goals. Instead of blaming stuff on people, like what's something simple I can do that'll make a positive impact on my block? What's something simple I can do? Like put the onus on yourself. That's why I always say my block, my hood, my city. I don't want to give ownership to nobody else. What's something I can do? I think democracy starts from the block. I don't think we should wait for big city government to come and change everything. I think if the more connected we are, the safer we are. The healthier we are, the happier we are. If there's 16 houses on this side of the street and 19 houses on that side of the street, that's 35 homes, man. Go walk your block and get to know who your neighbors are. The block gets better when you start doing stuff like that. Like, the mayor doesn't demand that you know your neighbors. You want your block to be better, you better demand that of yourself. So I'm all about, again, them 15 words. What's something simple I can do that'll have a positive impact on my block? I always tell my kids, like, get on the good side of the way things work. How you feel about it is how we feel about it is how we feel about it, but get the information first. Be on the good side of the way things work. Like if you drive a car off the bridge right now, they can be like, oh, Jahmal was a good person, didn't know how the game worked. If a police officer pulls you over, you start making these, boom, you dead. That's not how the game works. So how I feel about that is how I feel about it, right? But unfortunately, in this country, it feels like they need to stop shooting people. That's what they need to stop doing. Because we fed up with that. I done, put a hoodie on for Trayvon, walked for Laquan, cried for Betty Jones, held my breath for Eric. I'm tired of all this stuff. I'm tired of all these slogans. Enough is enough. And they need to stop shooting people and we'll stop protesting. I got hope, but I'm putting action behind my hope. You know what I mean? I want to vote. I want to volunteer. I want to get involved. I want to ask questions. All those things is what it means to hope to me. It's not just like, I'm just going to hope things change. I wish. No, that's not hope. If you do something simple in Pilsen, I do something simple in Chatham, somebody do something simple in Uptown, we're all creating these ripples and they can come together and create a wave of hope in Chicago. That's how I feel. So that's the truth. Like the problems can't be solved from the top down. If they could pay some money right now to stop this stuff, they would.